It's mailbag time here on Chat Sports, and the only way to get on the show is to be a subscriber. The questions come in live from our subscribers, so if you want to get on the show, you got to sub to Chat Sports. First up from Justice Baca, a super chat. Trade Zeke to Houston for a draft pick. You save very little money trading Zeke before the NFL draft. You save under $1 million. It's not great. You save more post June 1st, but I assume you want to get rid of Zeke because you don't want his contract anymore. You don't think he's worth it, which I get. Here's my counterpoint. If you don't want that, why would Houston? Now, they're a badly run franchise. If you can do it, let's ride. I wouldn't get your hopes up for, let's call it what it is, trying to dump Zeke to a bad team. Fernando, how do you see Harbaugh on Dallas? I'm curious how Harbaugh and Jerry would coexist. I could see them being the best of friends and also killing each other after 1 year. Kind of like Bill Parcells, I guess, to an extent. I'd be down. I would not get my hopes up for that one. Evan Hinders, Jags should hire Zimmer. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the stuff that's come out of Zimmer's tenure at the end of his time in Minnesota. It was not great. Not good. I worry about Mike Zimmer as a modern-day NFL head coach. The game has changed. Now, I think we make a real argument, have a good discussion on, hey, it's pivoting back to running the football more. We can have that combo, I think. But I don't think Zimmer's built for the modern-day NFL. DC, sure. Head coach, I'm not sure he brings the stability you might think. I would look at Doug Peterson in that route instead. Night Fox. So the Packers hire Packers OC Nathaniel Hackett as head coach, get Aaron Rodgers in a trade, and get Davante Adams in free agency. If you do all three, let's ride, baby. I love it. I wonder if actually Luke Getsy might be more like Rodgers. He's always liked his quarterbacks coach for whatever reason more than some of his OCs or head coaches. Kind of weird how that works out. Maybe they're playing good cop. I don't know. But if you get Hackett, Rodgers, and Adams, how can you complain? That's such a fun idea and a real contender, if so, in Denver. From Tennessee Falcon, is Lamar worth $40 million? I don't know if he's worth 40, but I think that's what you're going to have to pay him. Lamar entering this year, I would have said yes. But let's be objective. As I am a Lamar Jackson fan, he didn't play too well. He didn't. Injury's a factor now. So I don't want to pay Lamar $40 million. Can I get his guaranteed money low? He's his own agent. Can I get that low guaranteed money so that if he does get hurt, I've got an out down the road? I don't think Tyler Huntley's your guy. I think Lamar Jackson's a much better quarterback, but he didn't play that well this year. There's still room to grow. And if this is his peak to get MVP Lamar, of course you're going to pay him $20 million. Last year, Lamar, not so much. Then again, it's the alternative is, what else are you going to do? You're gonna try and trade him for Aaron Rodgers? I mean, that's a fun idea. Packers say no. I mean, can you get him for Russ? Maybe. Not the worst idea ever, but that's kind of stretching into the extremes, I think. So that doesn't happen very often. So it's kind of pay or don't pay. It's the Kirk Cousins dilemma. And I think Lamar's better than Kirk Cousins, by the way. But what is the most you would pay Lamar Jackson per year? Let me know in the comments. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it and let me know. From Mike of Indy, Colts next quarterback. I think you're going to be disappointed. I think it's going to be Carson Wentz next year. You have his contract. I don't know who's going to absorb that contract, like in a trade. So I think you got one more year of Wentz. Maybe you draft somebody day 3 again, like Jrg Vsqz didn't work out, Ehlinger didn't work out, so you can explore other options. But it did not go very well. It didn't go very well. Ehlinger's not your guy. Like, Eason's gone. You're not going to bring back Jacoby Brissett. So I think it's Wentz next year, and then look towards the draft potentially in 2023. Jrg Vsqz. Oh, that's Jrg Vsqz. I don't know what it would be. Ojabo or Karlaftis? I think both are good prospects. I think Karlaftis is more polished right now, but I think the ability, upside, and even just current level of play overall as a prospect, give me David Ojabo. I don't think he played very well against Georgia. We made a big deal about Hutchinson got locked up. Well, he got double teamed. And Ojabo can't box score scout, but it's worth mentioning still, no impact. There were some pressures, but no impact. So I think David Ojabo, there's a bit more, I think, risk though. But I ain't here to be a coward. Give me the high upside guy. If you want more NFL draft coverage, subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. The draft is still a few months away, but we're going to keep giving you guys videos all year long. So sub if you haven't already, youtube.com/chatsportstv. From Winter Skull 69, the Dolphins sign one of the big-time receivers in free agency. I would rather spend big on an offensive lineman. I get where you're coming from, and Davante Parker wasn't great, but you got a great number one in Jalen Waddle as far as I'm concerned, at least long-term. You got some tight ends. I would pay Mike Gesicki, and I would throw money at Teron Armstead, who's always hurt. Brandon Scherf coming off the injury. I would go get an offensive lineman before I got another receiver because that O-line has not been good enough into his time in Miami. From Nuk'd House, what is a possible high-caliber player that could be moved on in a trade or being cut that nobody's talking about? It's a good question. I think there are lots of names. You guys can sign up in the comments. Here's one for you. How about Amari Cooper? Cooper's contract is set up to be moved or restructured this year. And I just wonder if Dallas is a bit upset with Cooper and the drops and the COVID stuff and overall being a bit inconsistent. I would not move on from him, but I think Dallas could. So I think Amari is a big name to monitor on that front. From Cry Me a River, if Russ wants out, what team makes more sense, Saints or Giants? That's a good question. The Saints were on Wilson's initial approved trade list. Go work with Sean Payton, go to New Orleans. That team is still mostly built to win right now. I think Russ could be a great fit with the New Orleans Saints. I think trying to win football games, Russ would want to go to New Orleans. New York, however, and this might not be fair, but it's been mentioned by, I think it was Colin Cowherd. Well, CR wouldn't mind being in New York. I think Russ, the legacy guy, would love to get the Giants to the Super Bowl. That's better for his brand, right? Russ strikes me as a big legacy person. And not too dissimilar. I think you can throw that in there as a Tom Brady type, that they just want to win championships. Russ gets another Super Bowl. He's a lock for the Hall of Fame. Gets 2, he's in. Seattle, New Orleans, New York, wherever. The Giants, by the way, might be more appealing for the Seahawks side because they have the draft capital to pull that one off, more so than the Saints do. So where will Russell Wilson play next season? Is it Seattle? He says they don't want to be traded, but it's up to him. If he says, I'm not getting traded, I want to stay, then he's not going anywhere. So let me know in the comments, where will Russell Wilson play next season? All right, so 2 Super Chats here with really the same question. Jacob Rawleigh says, Minshew to Washington, yay or nay? And the Pass Master says, football team goes and gets Gardner Minshew. Thoughts? Doesn't fix their problem. It's like getting Fitzpatrick again. Minshew is an NFL caliber quarterback. He's a great backup. He's not your franchise guy. You bring him in, you're still going to be looking for an upgrade. So, sure, he's cheapish. I'm okay with it, but he's not your franchise guy. That, I honestly, if we've been watching the game, especially beyond week 1, he's been the best first start of the year quarterback ever, he's not very good beyond that. NFL QB, yes. Franchise QB, no. From Howard Griego, can the Steelers trade their number 1 pick for Tyler Huntley? They can. I don't know why they would. Huntley's been nice, but he's in that Minshew mold. He's not your franchise guy. He's an NFL caliber quarterback. He's going to make money as a backup QB. He's in a great spot in Baltimore. But you trade a first-round pick for Huntley, you're saying he's your franchise guy. at least for the short term. And I don't think that's who Huntley is. He was a gem. I thought he should have been drafted. I had a draftable grade on him when he came out of Utah. But franchise QB, I'm just not sold. Hit the big red button, folks. That's the subscribe button if you want daily NFL news and rumors. By the way, we push out like 3 or more videos every single day. So make sure your notifications are set to all. That way you don't miss out on anything here at Chat Sports. From Zay for the win. Can the Cowboys draft Ahmad Gardner? They can. I don't know if Dallas is going to throw another premium pick at a corner. You've drafted in the top 100 Trayvon Diggs, Kelvin Joseph. You drafted Nashawn Wright. Who's going to be your nickel? They've only played Joseph on the outside, so you're going to move into nickel? Okay, that's fine. But you can get by with Anthony Brown as your nickel. Or draft a nickel outside of round 1. I like throwing picks at corners. I'm on board with that. I don't know if 24 is going to be where they spend that pick, though. Gaming and blogs, who would you hire if you were the Houston Texans? I think Brian Flores would be my first hire if the interview process is checked off in the end. I would look at that direction. I would not hire Josh McDaniels. I think Flores would be my first pick. From Grayson, why does no one believe in the Titans? They were great this year. I think Tennessee, and I might have misread this, but I'm pretty sure I read that Tennessee beat more teams with a winning record than any team in NFL history, which is kind of crazy because normally if you go around 500, that means you had a fantastic year. And they had so many injuries. So I think in the end, the reason why, fair or not, they don't believe in Ryan Tannehill. That's why, in the end. They don't think Tannehill's the guy to win a title in Tennessee. But they can prove some people wrong by beating the Bengals this week. So who you got? T for the Tennessee Titans or B for the Cincinnati Bengals? Let me know who you got winning that game in the comments section. From Robert Bruce, hello Jack, hello Tom, wondering, do you think if Green Bay does not re-sign Davante Adams, that they will franchise tag him, please? That's what I would do. I don't think it'd be a good idea to just let him leave. I would try the tag and trade. Also, I think this kind of stems from the handling of the Aaron Rodgers stuff. Like, does Davante want to catch passes from Jordan Love? And will Green Bay offer him the money that he wants? He's worth like $25 million a year. Let's be honest here. So, yes, I would tag him. We'll see if they do. From Baller47, should the Giants hire Brian Daboll as their head coach? I wouldn't mind it. I don't know if that's the right job for Daboll. I don't know if he wants that job, although they've been interviewing some Bills front office guys too. I thought he should have been hired last year. I thought Elliott would have been great for him. I mean, you saw what he can do against the Patriots, right? That was, in the playoffs, the best job interview I've seen in a long time. Now, you can't hire a guy just on one game because you can hire some bad guys based on one game, but Belichick disciple, Saban disciple did his best work in Buffalo. Now, being a play caller is very different than being a head coach. There's a lot of different stuff that goes in there. The reason why you got the job isn't necessarily why you're going to succeed as a head coach. But that's what we base so much of it on. So if he interviews well, I say yes. Who do you think will be the next New York Giants head coach? Daboll, Harbaugh, somebody else altogether? Sound off for me in the comments section.